WordPress and AI, how to make something with something new, something that we like to talk about here. It's AI, and we like to talk about WordPress. Let's make it together right now. Our speaker tonight is Baljinder Singh, and then also known as Mike. I like to.
Yeah. If you want to avoid the 3 syllables put together and remember it, yeah, just go for Mike. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for coming here. Really appreciate you guys, spending 2 hours with us. I think there were like 2 or 3 people who don't know what WordPress is, so I'm gonna go through like a little bit about some history, what we used to have before WordPress, and what are the competitors, what actually we do, right? So before WordPress, if you have to make a website, you would go on like Dreamweaver and kind of learn how to code HTML, CSS, JS, and stuff like that, and then you would come up with making a website. So that's how it used to be in the back. Then came some of the softwares called content management systems, in which you just have to get their code, which is open source or not open source, get their code, put your content in, put your logo, put branding, and that's it. That's all you have to do. WordPress started as a blog site, so you could create like your own blog website for it. And with the time, it grew so exponentially. You can create membership sites, you can create personal networks, you can create e-commerces, you can create marketplace, what Amazon is. Like, it's that powerful tool right now. So that's what WordPress is. So starting with the topic for today, it is a plugin. You can call it as a sub-software that works on the WordPress. It's developed by my agency, and that's what we're going to talk about. But I'll provide you some demos, some backstories, and stuff like that. Starting with the plugin name, it's called WPadmin.AI. If you know WordPress, WordPress gives you a back-end interface. It's called WPadmin, WordPress admin. So that's why the name got in WPadmin.AI. And luckily the domain was available, so we got it. So let's start with the introduction and the context. Yeah, this is my photo from like 8 years ago, 8, 9 years ago. I lost a lot of weight. So my name is Baljinder Singh, and I'm born and raised in Punjab, India, the northern region, just in the foothills of Himalayas. And I own WPSpin LLC. That's the agency over here we have. We do WordPress development, we make plugins, we make themes, we kind of resolve issues, troubleshoot, we also provide support services. WPX Houston, that was my personal freelance website for me. Then we have a plugin, it's called Ignition Deck. It's a crowdfunding plugin. You can create something like Kickstarter, Indiegogo on your own, something that you own, you yourself own. And then WPadmin.AI, this is what this whole presentation is about. All right, so why we did the WPadmin.AI? So if I talk about common reality for WordPress admins, there are multiple plugins. There are like hundreds and thousands of plugins, and there are different themes. Like you can go on the market, just type, the best theme, best WordPress theme. You'll get like tens and thousands of the pages, the search results, and everything is scattered. There are plugins which are made by, let's say, author 1. There are plugins that are made by author 2, right? So in such like that, you may have 20, 30 plugins on top of your themes. So everything coded by different companies. And the situation we have is a person who manages WPadmin, he has to go through all those plugins, he has to go through all these themes, and these all sub-softwares, they do not talk to each other. And everything is scattered. if you have to find an answer to something, you have to go to multiple pages within WPadmin. And yeah, let's say if you want to find a specific setting in a plugin, obviously it's in the plugin's README file or the documentation, but as human nature, we do not go through the user manual. Right? So we try to click through different stuff, try to go through different tabs, and then we find our stuff. And this is the actual gap we want to close with our plugin WPadmin.AI. And so working on a couple of websites, client websites, so this was our pain. Like there would be a new website coming, and we deal with a couple of like short projects, short tasks, troubleshooting and stuff like that. And we would be introduced with a new client who would just not allow us more than 2 hours, 4 hours, something like that, just for discover, just going through like what's working under the hood. And our developers, they would go into the plugins section, the themes section, then looking at the front end, what's it's built on, looking at the theme builder, like what it actually is using, right? So we had an idea, why not we just combine everything as a data into a MCP. How many people know what MCP is in an AI word? 1, 2. So MCP, it's the full form is Model Context Protocol. What it does, it tells all the AI clients, AI interfaces like ChatGPT, Gemini, DeepSeek. I've never tried that. It gives the information like, this is my data set. Based on that, give me those answers. So that was the idea we had. And the only thing we need to do is put all the information into MCP and then present it to any AI model. So that's how we actually started. And we also realized, like working, so this was meant to be our internal plugin. We didn't thought of putting it onto public. But then we thought there are some clients who are asking us really simple questions. Like, for example, a client would come and like, I'm having this page. I'm not sure what page builder it is built on. Give us some details. And we would go through all those pages, spending some time. But if for that client, we would install this plugin and let him ask the question to our plugin, it can answer. So why not make it public? So that's how we came to an idea of this. And our goal is to make the WordPress smart itself, not like a powerful tool, but still useless. And that's what a lot of the customers, a lot of clients, the actual real world users of the WordPress are facing. We have all these different kind of candy shelves with like thousands of candies with different flavors, and no one knows what to pick. There it comes. So this is how the interface is. Is it visible? Like really? Yes. Okay. So this is kind of the interface, and what our plugin does, it creates this chat box over here, and this is accessible to all kind of.
Oh, it's dark. Is it dark?
It's fine.
Okay.
Alright, so this is the basic interface. It provides you a simple chatbot. It doesn't give you any different like options. It doesn't ask you to press 30 different buttons to get your stuff. It's available. It's visible in all the backend pages. Alright, so it's embedded in the WordPress dashboard itself. You don't have to do anything. Then I'll do a demo of how it's summarizing the data, suggesting you the content, suggesting you the codes, also answering questions and giving you step-by-step kind of instructions. It's like using ChatGPT inside your dashboard. Let it put it that way. You don't have to go through ChatGPT on the separate side and you can have to explain everything like what my site is about and then ask the question. You don't have to do anything. It's all within your dashboard. And you also don't have to explain what your website is all about, what its uses, and all those things, because it is pulling all that data automatically in a secure environment. So what we will cover the state of WordPress admin workflows, like how it is right now. Obviously, what WPadmin.AI is technically. We'll do some live demo with some general use cases and walkthroughs, and also we'll show you like how it works behind the scenes, like what exactly we're using in the background. And some of the use cases for agencies, freelancers, and site owners. I'll also talk about the roadmap, what the future is all about, and if someone wants to kind of contribute, how you can do that. And then we'll go through some QA. And I would highly recommend if you wanna, if you have any questions like, what prompt I can or cannot do to this chatbot, that'll be helpful and we can go through it together. It'll be really interactive session. So going through like what is the everyday life of a WordPress admin, like a person who is in charge of handling the WordPress from the back end, who's responsible to do the updates, who's responsible to find new plugins, new features, do some like troubleshooting stuff. So what kind of situation we have right now? So this guy, he manages plugin, he does the updates. In case if your hosting provides automatic updates, you still need to go in there, look, see if the updates perform well, if something breaks, stuff like that. Doing some SEO, going with the analytics, going through comments, if you have a blog post site or something like that, taking backups, or configuring the automatic backups. And obviously, if this person is a WordPress developer working for someone else, or for someone else like a boss, he also deals with the client requests. And these are like big tasks, daily chores. And whatever plugin you add to the WordPress site, and minimum is like 10 to 15. These are the minimum plugins you always have to install, like page builder, like SEO, security, backups, and all those things. And each plugin is powerful and has their own like data set. They know like they do some different stuff, and everything is kind of separate. And most questions, like if you want to do something with one of those plugins, you have to go through multiple pages. And so what's happening is there's an overload of information, and that's where the actual problem is. We're spending more time finding information than acting on it. And I'm a kind of person, if I see a butterfly, I'll just chase it. That's what's happening, I believe. You go through multiple pages in the WordPress admin to find an answer, and you get taken away by something else. And each plugin has their own data structure, they have their own settings, having a separate dashboard panel for their own. And even simplest questions you require to do like a tab switching. And all this friction, it makes like decision making very slow. I'm going to show how a typical WordPress admin looks like with all the plugins. So this is our site, and we have almost like 20 to 25 plugins to make our website work. And you can see all these kind of different options over here on the left side. And everything, if you hover, you'll see more stuff. And that's what we are trying to achieve with this plugin. You don't have to go through all these different tabs. what's missing in this whole WordPress tool? Yeah, it's powerful. It can do anything. It can create different kind of websites. But again, it's difficult to use the same way it's easy to use. It's easy to install plugins. It's easy to take on more features. Your WordPress website, it can do amazing things, but the more things you add, it's gonna make things more complex and complex and complex. And now with the AI kind of the AI race, every plugin wants to make their stuff automated. Yoast has their own automation. Elementor has their own automation. On top of it, WordPress, they have their own automation, the upcoming automation. And someone said about 10up. So they have their own different AI tools they're building in the market. And there's no single place in WordPress that can answer all your questions. And that's the gap we're trying to address. Just an AI layer that understands your website and can answer. All right, so these are some users who use admins. They just need quick answers. They don't want, the spaghetti answers trying to find stuff. So they just need quick answers. And developers, we just need context before starting to work. We don't want to, go and think about you're taking your car into a mechanic shop. They want to know what brand is, what model is, and stuff like that. For a WordPress admin or WordPress developer, the only way is to go through the plugin section. And every website has different set of plugins, and every website is kind of unique. And clients, they need clarity, like what's going on with their website, what they can do and what they cannot do. And they don't want the nested dashboards like we have right now. But if you notice, we have the answers everywhere. Everyone in this interface, they want answers. It's the same question, just rephrased differently. So why this chatbot belongs to WordPress? So we're saying why you're leaving your own website to ask questions from Google or to ChatGPT? Why to open a new tab? Just do the same thing over here. It's contextual. It knows what kind of website you have. It's instant, and it's also private. It's not kind of selling your data. It's not maintaining your profile just like how Google does. And so yeah, let's look at how WPadmin.AI actually brings this whole idea. So again, it lives inside your WordPress admin, doesn't execute any actions. We have not coded it to change your website. That's something might be in the future, but not now, because all these AI bots, they're still in the experimental stage.
Is it providing essentially like human-friendly information about the backend, or can it do things like go on to the front end and QC pages and stuff like that?
So right now it's only for the backend.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like you said, it's like a human kind of information. We might be building something for the front end, which we have for our other plugin. So that's kind of future phase as well. But that's a good question.
Yeah.
And
That'd be a cool tool, in addition to this, is like front end QC, like with Playwright or something like that.
Correct.
And then so go and check it.
yeah. Right. So there are some. I mean, it's kind of interesting you brought that up, because it's not an our plugin, and it would be in the future stages. But right now, are you a developer by any chance?
Or an agency.
Okay. So do you know about Claude Code?
Yes.
Okay. So whenever you have time, look for Cloud Code plus Playwright.
Okay.
So what it does, Playwright has an interface which does the automated testing, the visual testing. When you combine that with Cloud Code, you just perform some steps on your website using the Playwright, it records those interactions and you say, all right, this value it's incorrect. And Cloud Code, it's going to run automatically, fixing that code, visually comparing like with the correct next time. It's really cool. You should try it. Yeah, but for now, our plugin does not support. So it's our plugin is designed for basically WPadmin experience. It's built to feel native to WordPress. It's not like it's not purple while your whole WordPress admin is like black, right? And accessible from every admin screen. Understands context, what page you're on, what exactly you're talking about. With that, I want to show how it looks like. It's really hard to see. Alright. So if you look over here, you'll see like a small chat bar over here. Once you click it, it's going to open like this. And this is the interface. You can ask stuff over here and you can do this stuff. I mean, my preference is to have this kind of icon on over here, but usually it shows over here on the dashboard, like on the top. Let me see if I can show that on the post page. Yep, that's how it looks like. Simple, 3 buttons, nothing more than that. So how does it understand your website? So what it does, it makes a temporary MCP. It's just like a JSON data. It combines everything. Think about like a file, a text file. It combines everything. What plugins are you using in Active? What themes are you using in Active? And what page you're on and stuff like that. And obviously the data if you want to share that. And that's what it passes through our AI interface. And it queries the context and returns summaries, answers, and stuff like that. And all the informations, they are generated on the fly. It does not keep any local copies and stuff like that. Some real examples of what it can do, what it can ask. How many products it were sold if you're using WooCommerce as e-commerce. And for people who do not know what WooCommerce is, it's a plugin that creates your WordPress site into an e-commerce. So using this plugin, you can ask like, how many products were sold recently, and it'll scan like what page you're on, how many orders you are seeing, and stuff like that, and it responds within it. Then you will say like, another use case is show me the post without featured images. I mean, usually manually, if you have to do that, you have to go through all the posts, either view them or edit them and see if they have the featured post or not. So it can detect that and can answer you as well. It can also see what plugins are updated recently. And these are just like few test cases. It extends more than that. Then what plugins are installed and what are known conflicts.
I have a feature request.
Yeah.
I like to suggest it kind of. Is it just this chat box thing, or do you have like a kind of hub page where you can have comment? Because when I see that second one with the featured image, I know it's just a small subset of them, but I think of like administrative duties and where a lot of site owners don't know what they don't know. But like, because we go into websites all the time and there's stuff like this, like no featured image or something.
Yeah.
They don't care, they don't know, their person doesn't know. And so this like maintenance suite kind of base tasks, like no featured image or like missing tags or like Yoast or under this or something like that, where it can conglomerate like these key important things. I feel like to have the way that you have it set up, to me looks like it assumes or requires a certain level of knowledge or expertise, like because you have to know what you're searching for to act with it. But if you have some of these things from a maintenance perspective that could be common things to help improve, I think that could be a really interesting USP to broaden the market of good for.
That's an amazing suggestion, and I definitely want to add it.
Yeah.
All right, moving to the next slide. And it's not built by agencies, it's not built by corporates and stuff like that. It's built by humans. So me having the knowledge of like 13 years working with WordPress in the backend, I have posted all my like FAQs or my knowledge into a file, and that's what this AI engine is using. So it is made by developers, it's made by us, so we kind of talk a little bit developer language if someone wants to be nerdy in the plugins. And it answers without switching the tabs. You don't need to switch tabs to get your answers. And then it bridges data and understanding like what exactly you're trying to achieve. It does that. And it's not a replacement of the tools. It's just like you're bridging the gap. You're not replacing the developers, not the tools. All right, so the interesting part over here, we have some live demos. I think we have 3 or 4 demos that I want to go through. So first is, let's say we want to talk about e-commerce. If someone has an e-commerce website, they just want a quick insight. And they say, well, tell me how many products were sold. You don't have to give the whole kind of picture. Sold last year, sold a month. No, you don't have to. You just ask that, and let's him respond. Let's try with ones. So we have this client website, and we already got permission from the client. All right, so this is their backend of their e-commerce site. We'll go through WooCommerce. We'll click on orders. We'll say we see the chatbot. We'll say how many products were
Increase their language.
So we'll say how many products were sold, and I'm going to say, all right, share my data. So it does not by itself read your data. You have to give the consent. And then we just hit this button. And if you notice, it's very much similar interface like ChatGPT is. The same kind of color code of the WordPress, and then the same kind of features and stuff like that.
What is the flag?
So if you're facing an issue, you just hit the flag and you can report.
To you?
Yes.
Like an issue with the plugin?
Issue with the plugin.
Okay.
Feature requests, issues, like it broke my site, stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, looks like the internet is not good. Let's see if I can find a different.
Share data mean like you're using it to train the model, or it like enables the actual context that it needs to send?
So usually by default, our plugin it only reads what your website is made of. Yeah, then that is a problem. It's not letting it finish. Alright. So this checkbox, it's actually means like you can read my order details, order data, which has like customer data as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Share sensitive.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Share sensitive data, something like that. So yeah, you can ask these kind of questions, and it's gonna work perfectly. And what it does, it reads all these orders which are on your screen, showing up over here, and it's going to answer based on that. And you can also give like transactional, communicable kind of questions, like after out of these orders, how many are still pending and stuff like that. All right. Demo 2, it can also suggest you the content. So for example, I'll say all those, I will say suggest me, suggest me a few blog posts. Right. So in the background, what it does, it's kind of reading like what your website is made of, and then it's gonna, you see, I have not given it any information like what my site, what my website or business is all about. It reads that everything in that MCP that we are submitting. And these are some suggestions, the post ideas. It says you can use this, how to leverage Elementor Pro, top 10 tips to optimize images, a beginner guide to using revenue forms. I'll say, all right, I'm going to choose this one. Let's draft content for this topic. So it will suggest everything over here, which you can copy and paste. Again, it suggests the content. It does not write the content for you. And you can copy it, you can paste it, and then you can also say like, give me steps to add this. Like you can even converse in really elementary language. Yes, sir.
Can you remind me what model it's using? Is it using ChatGPT or Gemini or
Yes.
something?
It's using the OpenAI model.
Okay.
4.0. Right now it's using 4.0.
Okay. And so if your clients want to do something more in depth, like you know how they have their pay structure, would y'all be able to do something like that as well? Or
Can
like
you
to
use
include
some-
like the pay structure, like depending on which model that they're using, whether it's like 4.0 or whatever new model that OpenAI is using, because you know how they're always updating their like.
Oh yeah.
And you have to pay like $20 a month for the newest one or whatever.
So that's kind of one thing, and I think I skipped one demo in the starting, like how to sign up. So this plugin, it does not allow you to change all these models and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what we are doing, we are talking to our middleware, and middleware, it's doing all those kind of API calls to OpenAI.
Okay.
And right now, with our testing, 4.0 is the most stable one for reasoning and all these things for WordPress. We're still working on 5, but it has not given us correct results. It gives a lot more information than we actually need. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for reminding me that, because I wanna do like one demo of how to sign up, how to install it. So the installation step, I totally missed it, so apology for that. But I'm gonna use that. Okay. So cutting this quick demo, the demo number 2 over here. I asked, give me steps to add this, and it's gonna say all these. Click on add new, all those things. I can also say like, include specific URLs, like where do you want me to go? Give me URLs. I don't want to go to another tab. So it can do that as well. With that, Let's set up this plugin. What I'm gonna use a playground that WordPress provides to do a new installation of this plugin. If internet allows.
Do you have any connection issue?
Yes.
So this disconnect and reconnect.
Let me see if I have something else.
Yeah, I had issues on my phone as well. I just disconnected.
I see.
I put it in airplane mode.
Probably just tether from your phone.
Yeah, sorry, the internet's down. I'm telling people phone right now. Sorry about that.
No problem, no problem. Something's working. So I just pulled my localhost. Alright. So what you have to do to get it installed for the first time, you'll just click on Add Plugin. You can either put AI Assistant for WordPress Admin, or you can just say WPadmin. And you'll see this smart bot guy. I just made up that. Install. Activate. Alright. So once you activate, it's going to show this tab over here. If I type in, let's say, what can we do? It says no subscription found. So we'll just go to this page. We can do free plan.
Can choose free plan?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Oh yeah. For you, Steve, you have to select the premium one. Free plan doesn't work for you.
Yeah. No free plan.
Let's see if this works. And it's simple, like submit your account information, and that's it.
What password tool is that?
It's a Zoho vault. Let's go here. Yeah, with free account you get like 30 question limit, and with the premium you get 150. So that's the basis. But it usually does the same thing. All right, and that's it. You don't have to set up your API keys. You don't have to go through OpenAI. You don't have to go through anywhere else. You just sign up on our website, and we're gonna take care of the API signing and all those things. All right, let's go through the demo number 3. So let's say if you wanna create a code, something that is not in the WordPress, you want to generate a code. So let's say here, I'm going to go for short code, make 5 minutes post. Actually, I can use over here. So it's going to suggest you the code. Again, it's not going to code it for you. It's going to just suggest the code, give you the proper tools to copy it, and it's going to suggest you also how you can do it. So you can see, go to your theme directory. It's going to give you the specific steps as well. Go to the theme directory over here. Open the functions.php file in your active theme. Add the following code. You can copy this code. You can paste it. Save the functions. Let's say if I want to say, I don't know. There'll be something I can do. Then there'll be. So it's going to give you alternative routes, alternative way of having this code added to your system. Yeah, here it is. Appearance, go to enter, and it's pretty kind of simple, straightforward. Then, just simple general dashboard queries. For example, I can ask over here. Let's go to the plugins first. So I'm going to go to the plugin section, and I will ask.
So this is localized to the section.
I'm sorry.
Like if you're querying it on plugins, it only looks for plugins. If you're querying it on media, it only looks for media.
It gives more context.
Okay.
But even though if you go to if you say a dashboard, it's still going to respond to you with the correct queries. But if you go to the specific page, it's going to give you answers quickly. But if let's say if you're on the pages post, so it'll try to think you're on pages post, you're asking me for a plugin. Let me relate somehow with your website, what it's trying. So it just adds some time for reasoning. But it gives you the exact results.
I have a question that I'm curious if it'll answer.
Sure.
Whether any of the plugins have overlapping functions that might benefit.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, it's on my site. So I would say
This isn't a gotcha for your own site.
Okay.
Because you must encounter this a lot as well, right?
Yeah.
Like with client sites.
Yeah, on our client side. So this is kind of recent experience we had. One client, they said they're making changes, but nothing happens on the front end. They're saving the changes, but on the front end, nothing changes. It stays the same. We went into the site, asked our tool, what kind of plugins, what kind of plugins they have. They had 3 caching plugins.
Yeah.
Which is like, if you're making changes, you're clearing 1 cache, but there are 2 more caches. But if you clear the second cache, it regenerates the cache based on the first caching plugin. So it's kind of, that kind of.
Yeah.
Sorry, repeat the question.
Are there any plugins that have overlapping features? And then like a follow-on to that is like
Yeah, the known
Just at the
conflicts.
very beginning.
What?
What features, what possible features what possible features have conflicting problems?
Yeah, that narrows it.
Is
So
that-
it's just a test.
There it is. There are plugins with overlapping features. Meta tag management, sitemap generation, and readability analysis. With the Elementor add-ons, you have these kind of features. Then I have 2 security plugins.
Yeah.
And this is on purpose.
Yeah, of course, it's WordPress content.
Yeah. Because I use SG security for 2FA. WordFence has it, but I don't like it. And you know, due to redundancy and potential conflicts. And what was the follow-up question?
What are the potential conflicts?
Yeah.
There you go. So it already says it then.
Potential.
Maybe like specifically, or like what are the specific conflicts here? Because it already says, yeah. So that's a good thing to like. I'm just branching off my earlier point of like having kind of a workflow for site admins who are the clients maybe administrating the site, like what are my posts and stuff, and then something for developers that they might want, because we go in there and we look at the plugins, right, and you go, okay, this one, this one, this one. Then you have like ones that aren't named well, or like you don't know all the feature sets of all the plugins. Some people with all weird plugins, and then so this can like capture that developer workflow, right? So you can point it at like this is already like devs. Here's your frequent workflows that we can minimize, and then here's your client one, and then you can, I don't know, I do this like feature stuff. It's like white label so the client doesn't see the dev part and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, it suggests all these things, potential CSS or JavaScript conflicts, overlapping security features like firewall and malware. Obviously, these are known issues. Yeah, this one is, I would say, a little vague because both are actually the same thing, Yoast free and Yoast premium.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, I would say like 80 to 90% it's giving the correct answers.
Yeah. Gives you places to look at.
Yes. I mean, again, it's not replacing the developers, but it's just like
Okay.
before spending any like developer hours, you can actually do stuff on your own.
Yeah, because when you do this stuff, you want like low hanging fruit. Like why am I going into the code if I just it's a setting, right? It's like what setting shows? Okay, I gotta look at these 5 settings. It might be there.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so we just going through some key takeaways. Answers are context aware, instant, and obviously private. And there are no extra dashboards, no API configuration, nothing like that. And obviously no risk of changes because everything you have to do it like a copy and paste if you want. So interesting part, how it actually works behind the scenes. So it's just built with PHP and JS, and it's really open source. It's not, we're not having React, we're not having any proprietary JS languages. It's built with PHP and JS. You can convert it, you can extend it. If you're a developer, you can brand it with your own agency, and you can use it. And it doesn't replace your dashboard. It's just like a layer on top of your existing language. And there's no indexing, there's no external data sync. It just does everything on the fly. And how the context awareness engine works. So what happens is we have our middleware that handles all the API calls to OpenAI. OpenAI is basically the model we are using, and model GPT 4o, that's what we are using right now. All the queries, all the prompts that we're doing, along with the data, it submits to our middleware. Middleware takes it, kind of cleans up, tries to make sure you're not hacking and stuff like that, and then it passes through the open app. And what it collects, what theme and plugin stack you have, what page you're on right now, just so it can understand like what you're talking about. Your website address, what your website does. Actually, it also scans your website in the initial phases. Then, if you want to share the data, what kind of post type, that's also it's being shared. Right now, we are only allowing the posts, the pages, and the WooCommerce orders. But yeah, you'll be seeing more integrations moving forward. And it doesn't go under inside user table at all. So that's something which is like a boundary for it.
Share data, right?
Yes. But even if you share that data, it does not go into users. It just stays on what you see on your screen. And yeah, we're using GPT 4.0. To be specific, there is Assistance API, which we're using. It's getting depreciated next year, so we have plans to upgrade it. And every website, it has secured threads made so that we do not, give or we do not share the accounts. Like for example, if you use a lot of ChatGPT, based on your account, it memorizes a lot of your personal stuff. And more conversations you create, it learns from everything. Instead, we use threads, and they keep separate, and they stay alive for like not more than 7 days. Privacy and security considerations. Just like I said, we only share metadata. Only the visible values that you see on your screen, that's the only thing that gets shared, nothing else. And there is no data that is stored. Within 7 days, you can ask in the chatbot itself, tell me what questions I asked. It will give you a list. After 7 days, if you ask that, it will say like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And everything is in the threads, which is the securest way we found so far.
You think that people would appreciate that it gets randomly cleared out, or they might want to hold more history and just have like an easy delete button?
So there's no delete button because even we do not control when it gets deleted.
Oh, that's a function of threads.
That's a security function of the thread itself.
Yeah.
I mean, they stay alive for 30 days, but we have made it to not go more than 7 days. But even before 7 days, it gets cleared up. And extensibility for developers. So in the backside, our middleware, it just accepts the data, the prompt, and give you a response. As a developer, you can just fork our plugin repo and can build plugin on your own. And as you know, WordPress is open source, which means no one owns the code. Just a quick fact. If you're paying for a plugin, you're not paying for the codes, you're paying for their support and updates and future updates, the automatic updates. The code is actually free to use.
I think there was something where like you could apply to JavaScript or something like that, so technically you're paying for the JavaScript.
So if you're
It's
using
like some loophole in the license.
So for example, the JavaScript libraries, let's talk about HiCharts. So that's a proprietary library. So if a plugin uses that, that's a license you're paying. So you have to buy those codes. But other than that, if it's just pure PHP, pure vanilla JS, it's free of charge.
Yeah, even if we fork this, it still calls to your middleware.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And we also have hooks. You can edit the responses and wrap it. So some of the use cases, who this plugin is for. It's designed for everyone who works with WordPress admin. And each user has a different the need or advantage of it. For agencies and developers, you get website contacts quickly, and there's a quick onboarding. You don't have to go through all the site, and it also helps in troubleshooting. For site owners, you can get step-by-step instructions, basic questions without the need of the developer. If these are like pretty simple questions, you can ask. And it also gives you plugin suggestions. So there are like 50, 100 plugins doing the same thing in the market. It can suggest you what is the best one, best seller or best used, active and stuff like that. And also it accounts for the reviews and all those things. And finally, it doesn't automate, it just illuminates, it just helps you in managing your WordPress. And it turns every WordPress screen into interactive page. Some roadmap and future vision. So we just built a foundation plugin, and we're expanding integrations. We're going into Gravity Forms, ACS, and doing a lot of stuff. The goal is to make it just like a layer. And obviously, just like I said, we're moving away from Assistance API next year probably, and also upgrading our model to GPT-5, and also creating methods for future integrations. Some of other features that we are working on is voice input, screen grab functionality. You can screen grab, you can point where the error is, and we're doing more compatibility and obviously some REST APIs. And that's pretty much it. If anyone has a question or a prompt which you want to talk about, like what it can do, what it cannot, or even if you want to break the plugin, it's all open.
I have a suggestion. Also, one thing from the agencies and developers fronts could be like white labeling it for clients, but then also having a functionality that like, do you need an adult? Like, so if something's broken, they're trying to deal with it themselves.
Oh, yeah.
They can't fix it like just to send it over kind of with the history of the problem to make it easy. So it's like to whichever is the white labeling agency. So that could be like a value that's set somewhere.
Yeah, that's interesting because the flag icon, it actually sends the last prompt which you generated with the response as well.
Yeah.
So it sends, we get that and we kind of figure that out. We reach out to that customer saying like, that got messed up, but we fixed it.
Yeah. Read another buttons like adults.
Right.
Yeah.
Any other question? Awesome. So is there any other developer or agency over here?
Alright.
It's interesting.
Distributed. I'm using power.
Oh, what's the name of it?
Audio. DOTTEO.
Oh,
Yeah, it's nobody who hears it spells it right, and nobody who sees it pronounces it right.
yeah. That's kind of my name, right? So a lot of people, if they say it, they cannot spell it. If they spell it, they cannot say it.
That's why I'm not. Yeah.
Yes. All right, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for your patience. I think this was one of the longest presentations I gave.
Thank you for the presentation.
Thank
It was
you.
great. Plugin. Okay.
Awesome. And yeah, if
We'll
anyone,
try it.
What?
We'll try it. Plugin.
Sure.
Yes.
if anyone wants to contribute to our plugin, please reach out to me and we can see how it may work. I don't think I put my LinkedIn or whatever, but if you just say like Baljinder WordPress, it's gonna pop up on Google search and whatever. There. You can use the wpsystem.com or wpsystem.com. can build things together.
Or we can meet you in Katie on next WordPress meetup.
Yes.